Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadashivam once again with you. And in today's video, we are going to talk about some of the excerpts of the interview with Hemant Sikka, who is the president and CEO of Mahindra Farm Equipments Divisions of Mahindra. We are all aware that the month of June has been extremely strong as far as the automotive sector is concerned. Now, as far as the tractor segment is concerned, Hemant Sikka says that while there has been a 19% growth in the tractor segment, Mahindra has grown by 32%. In fact, he was also comparing the figures of quarter one, where there has been a very robust performance of 37% for the industry, whereas Mahindra had grown at 49%. This is as far as quarter one is concerned. Now, in the months going ahead, there will be a high base effect, especially as far as the quarter three, quarter four are concerned, because those were the quarters where extremely a good performance was recorded by all these companies during the last year. So no one can expect everything to keep on increasing at an increasing rate, and therefore, considering this high base effect in those quarters, we cannot expect that kind of a growth in the coming quarters, especially as far as Q3 and Q4 of financial year 21. If you look at the month of June, it was more of a pent-up demand. That's probably because of lockdowns during the month of April and May, where most of the hinterland was affected, as a result of which there is increase in the demand as far as June is concerned. But that's not one. It has played quite well in terms of increased sale, and there is another thing, which is the Rabi procurement has done quite well. In fact, if you look at the cash flows in the heartland, especially with farmers, the cash flows have been extremely positive. The confidence is coming back to the farmers, and they are all going back to the sowing activity. They will all start. Of course, a little bit of a delay has been there in the monsoon, but we can hope that this monsoon will be very good, and reasonably we can expect a very good Q2. Now, as far as the inventory situation is concerned, the company is doing all it can. There have been certain supply side bottlenecks, increase in commodity prices, etc., but all that are being taken care of, and the production schedules have already considered all these things. Of course, the plus things like your sowing season, your harvest season, all that has been accounted for. So by the end of September, one can hope that when the season begins, they will have enough stocks at the dealerships end in order to meet the demand. So as far as the supply chains are concerned, they have been normalized quite a bit, but concern still continues to be there, especially as far as the regional lockdowns are concerned. The lockdowns have not opened up throughout the country, right? As a result of which there are suppliers in specific places, and any distortion in those supplies will affect the production. So the supply chain constraints are continuing to be there. For example, some states have completely come back. Your Maharashtra, etc., they have all come back, and those supplies are running at 100%. We are talking about companies in concerned states like your Karnataka, especially most vendors are situated in Belgaum, Bangalore, etc. They are all working at 40% capacity. Their productions are affected. That will affect the production there also. Coimbatore, it has partial lockdowns. They are not working at full capacities, though there are reports that the lockdowns will be released probably by the first week of July, but there has not been any official confirmation on that yet. But at the same time, generally, if you speak other than Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, things have ramped up quite well. And the other factor which might affect the tractor industries in the days and months to come is it's a highly product, elastic product, and one cannot say with a fair amount of confidence that you will not have any effect on tractor sales. The commodity prices are peaking right now. Nobody can be sure whether it will go up or not, but generally people feel that they have peaked up, and that's what most of the economists and experts are feeling. And obviously, when there is an increase in the commodity prices, every manufacturer, whether it is Mahindra or any automotive manufacturer, they have to pass on little bit of that cost increase to customers, so it can be a party buster surely. But companies are also taking up some of these costs. For example, as far as Mahindra is concerned, they have taken one price increase in the month of January, that is the first week of Jan, and the second was during the first week of April. And while at the same time, the companies are not in a position to pass on all the price increase to the customer, because one needs to keep in mind the demand elasticity and all that needs to be considered, and therefore a lot of things are being done in the factory, be it in terms of Kaizen, continuous improvement in productivity, everything that can be done from the production side in order to mitigate this evil effect of cost increase and bring cost effectiveness into their production operations. But in spite of all that, some amount of price increase is inevitable, and probably another increase might happen in the next 1 or 2 months. And these are the words of Hemant Sikka, the CEO of Mahindra Tractors, are concerned. So as far as the margin expectations are concerned, their profit margins will continue to be industry leading margins, right? All said and done, there are headwinds in terms of commodity increases, etc. They will continue to remain, but the CEO is confident that they will be able to maintain high and healthy margins, and they will be able to do that. But one thing which is, as far as Mahindra is concerned, there has been a market share loss, right, in the financial year 2020. Now, for that, Mr. Sikka feels that they have recovered that loss of market share, right? Now their market share is approximately 42%, right? So it has gone up subsequently, significantly. In fact, even in the month of June, their market share has increased, and the tractors are on a roll. The industry grew by approximately 27% last year, touching approximately 9 lakh volumes, close to 1 million, guys. So if the monsoon progresses well, you can still do great, but the only elephant in the room is the COVID wave 3, right? In fact, 9 lakh volumes in the tractor industry is the all-time high for the industry ever in India. And they all feel that the terms of trade, this is especially in the context of their economist, Sachidanandan, he feels that the terms of trade has moved in favor of agriculture. Now, most farmers in the country, they don't need MSP, because your tractor demand is a function of the money in the pockets of farmers. That plays a very crucial role in the increase in your tractor sales, right? Now, Sachidanandan, their economist, feels that most farmers don't even need the MSP, that is the minimum support prices, because the upside risk is, of course, there is an upside risk we will talk about that a little later, but we have seen a good increase in food commodity prices, which is holding up especially well for the farmers. Your kharif crops, the MSP is far higher, and most farmers are not using, because they are getting excellent price from the market, right? Which is a very good news, not just for them, but for everyone. It's a very good news, because after all that smoke that happened, much of that has been cleared except 1 or 2 states. You all know what states I'm talking about. There are dharnas going on, but the prices are actually holding up really well. But even for farmers, there are certain headwinds, because the input costs for the farmers, the cost of seeds, fertilizers, and other things, they are also going up. That's a concern. But the ability of farmers to manage this rise in the input cost is also increased. Their ability has improved a lot because the trade-off is happening at the output end. Because the prices have also gone up, the output price, good sentiments are coming back to the market. And once we are able to clear this wave 2 and wave 3, perhaps the rural demand, all that will come back and they will keep continuing. Now, I would like to share with you some of the revenues as pointed out by him. So, how much the country is growing from 41,000 crores, the total revenues we are talking about, 41,000 crores in financial year 17 to 47,000 crores in 18, 53,000 in 19, and then 2021 it has come down approximately 44,000 crores, right? Almost the same level in 2021 also, 44,000. It's slightly down, but yes, that's because of the effect of COVID. But in spite of COVID, if they have been able to clock 44,000 crores last year and this year, that's a very good performance, right? It's a good achievement, right? So as far as the profits are concerned, it's approximately 3,500 crores in 17, 3,218, 5,419 guys. And then of course 3,500 crores in 2020 and 21. So their net profit, their peak profits were in the year 2019 when they had touched 5,500 crores. But against that, if you look at 20 and 21, it's somewhere in the range of 4,000 range, and one can understand there have been issues, especially because of COVID, etc. On the whole, the company is doing extremely well. We are talking about Mahindra tractors, and we will also be coming up with other market leader who is Tafe Tractors, right? Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and this is Dr. Sadashivam signing off till we meet again. Bye bye. Jai Hind.